One of the biggest blocks that I had in the early stages of my business was creating content. I'm sure you heard from all the gurus online that you're supposed to post 3 times a day and you need to post at this time and you need to have this much engagement. And so it felt like something I had to do and it exhausted me. I became resentful. I used to run out of ideas, or I would post just to check the proverbial box, all the things that I'm sure you can relate to. But I got to a point where I knew that I needed to post. But I also knew that posting in the wrong energy was not going to support the growth that I was seeking. And this is when I went back to the foundation pieces of my business and decided to change the way in which I share content. And that's what I want to share with you today. I want to share 2 strategies that you can begin to incorporate as you're creating content so that you can create content intentionally and magnetize your dream clients right to you. The first piece is shifting your mindset around it. So for me, when I thought about content, all I could think about was I have to create content instead of thinking about it from a place of I get to create content. The truth is your content should be serving your tribe. And so when you reframe your perspective and beliefs around creating content, it gets to be exciting. So part of that mindset shift, I had to do away with what everyone else was telling me that I needed to do, and I had to align with what felt right for me to do. The truth is, if you post to check your proverbial box, you're posting in the wrong energy. And trust me when I say that even if you put your best effort in, even if you put your best foot forward, your clients and potential clients actually feel that. And energetically, it's not going to mesh with them. I experienced this firsthand. There was a season in my business where I was posting all the time, and it just felt like I was churning out content. And then, unfortunately, I had a medical procedure where I was down for a month, and I was posting, but it was a lot more irregular, and it was more of like what was happening in the moment. And the craziest thing happened with this experiment that I didn't plan. I actually got more engagement and even sales on the month that I had off when I wasn't trying really hard than I did when I was trying to do all the right things and essentially check those boxes. At the time, I remember feeling like scared that I was going to lose followers and that people would forget about me or I would seem like a fraud. But really, this was one of the greatest lessons that I ever received. And since then, I have been intentional about making sure that content gets to be fun for me and that when I create content, I do it in a way that feels aligned for me. And this has changed the game for me. So I highly suggest you consider, what does creating content look like for you? If you love videos, create videos. If you hate reels, forget reels. If you love static posts, make them. If you love carousels, do more. If you only like YouTube, if you only like podcasting, stick where it feels good for you, but also make sure that you're connecting with your clients and future clients, which we'll talk about in the next step. All in all, don't buy into what everyone else is selling you because there's no one size fits all to success in business. You get to create success on your own terms and you get to create a business that works for your lifestyle. The second thing that changed the game for me in regards to content creation was understanding who I was creating content for, why I was creating content for them, and the right way to engage them through my content. For most people online, creating content is just about finding new clients or going out on the hunt and making sure that new people find you, but we're not really being strategic when we're creating from that place. So I went back and I considered who engages with my content the most. And the people that engage with my content the most are my current clients, the clients that are like aspiring and on the verge of becoming my clients, and those that are new in my space. Even when I go back and I look at my posts, I realize the posts that got the most engagement were the ones that related to the people in those buckets, essentially. So I started to be strategic about the way in which I created content. So now when I create content in 3 bucket areas. So I create content for my already clients, which are the clients that I'm working with currently. I create content for my almost clients. So these are the clients that are on the fence and almost ready to step over and work with me. And then I create content for my aspiring clients, which are essentially the future clients that will come into my space and be engaged with all of the content that I have. Using this approach has changed the game for me with content creation. For one, it's allowed me to put myself in the shoes of these different people. So what would my aspiring clients want to know or need to know from me when coming in to my social media sites, right? What would my current clients need to know that keeps them engaged, keeps them hooked, and continues their learning? What would my almost clients need to hear or see that would tip them just in that right direction in a way that feels aligned, like it's the next best step for them to take? This perspective has been a game changer for me because it's allowed me to talk directly to them. And when I talk directly to them, it feels personal, it feels relatable, and it creates this magnetizing effect where my clients can come straight to me. So when you're creating content moving forward, I challenge you to really consider that you get to create content. You get to showcase your voice and have an impact simply through your posts or through your videos. I also challenge you to consider putting yourself in these different shoes, to consider what it is that these people need to hear from you and how you can show up and answer their most pressing questions, or show up in a way that they feel connected and you feel relatable. Incorporating these 2 tips into the way in which I create content made the process seamless, made the process fun, and made the process work. There is no purpose in creating content just to check a proverbial box. There's no purpose in creating content that doesn't align with you. So stop doing this. Leverage these tools and watch how this changes your results.